All right. So, welcome to day one of the cinematic boot camp. Now, the way this is going to go is we're going to first do CapCut. Then from there, we're going to go to DaVinci Resolve. And then from there, we are going to do Premiere Pro. Now, I personally edit on Premiere Pro. So if you really want to learn exactly how I do everything, watch the Premiere Pro part. But if there was one software that I would choose if I were a beginner that hasn't started video editing at all, it would be DaVinci Resolve. I would have you learn on that. Why? Because it is the most versatile, it is the most in-depth, and they have a free version. If Premiere Pro had a free version, I would be telling you to use that, but they don't. So it has a paid subscription. And then I'm just making CapCut tutorials because you guys ask that shit from me all the time on my Instagram. So I thought I might as well do that. The reason why I am a hater of CapCut is just because their color grading is just not as great. The color grading is still not as intuitive as DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro, but you can still make it work. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. But it is day one of the Cinematic Bootcamp. This is CapCut. This is going to be importing music, sounds, and clips, and then putting it on your timeline. So that's really all it's going to be today. Tomorrow, I'll go over the transform tab and a basic video effect that I use on almost all my videos. So there's a lot of things that you can do with these, what do you call it, with these video editing softwares. I'm only going to show you what I would personally be using on these video editing softwares, so that you guys know what I can use. There is a whole bunch more that you guys can learn, but the reason this is a cinematic boot camp for gym edit specifically. So that's literally what it is. I hope you guys really enjoy this. I'm gonna try to make these every single day for you guys until I finish, and then yeah. So excited. Let's get right into it. So if you have a computer, first off, if you have a computer, please, please, please edit on your computer. Do not be editing on your phone if you have a computer. It is going to save you so much more time. It's going to be a lot easier to edit on a computer if you do not have, if you have a computer. Now, if you don't, and you can just use your phone, I'm not sure if all these different things that I'm showing you on CapCut desktop transfer over to the mobile, but if it does, great. Go ahead, follow it. I am not making any tutorials on CapCut mobile. It is just impossible to do. My phone is just going to crash, and to be honest, you shouldn't be doing that. If you genuinely want to make progress in the gym, if you genuinely or progress creating social media content, you're going to need to have a computer. There is no questions asked. The computer can just handle so much more, going to make your editing workflow that much better. And yeah, but if you have an iPad, you can actually use DaVinci Resolve iPad version for free. So again, ideally you want a computer. If you don't have a computer, work with what you got, right? Work with what you have. There are a lot of people making really great videos just editing on CapCut mobile. So that's all I got for you guys. So again, let's get into CapCut. So you're just going to want to go to your desktop, download the desktop CapCut app. I'm going to show you guys some of the free stuff, and then as well as some pro version stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why I don't like CapCut. The only good thing about CapCut is it makes it easy it makes everything easy. It makes it simple. But sometimes simple isn't always better. And in this case, it's not that much better. So without further ado, you open up CapCut. Let me delete this. All right, so you open up CapCut, right? Now what we're going to do is create a project, all right? We create a project. You're going to see all of this. Oh, what am I looking at? All right, up here, this is where you can go ahead. You can import your clips as well as different audios that you're going to use. You also have your text that you can add. You have stickers, effects, transitions, captions, filters, adjustments, templates. This is basically your effects tab. This is where you can add the different things that you need to add for your video, right? Right here, this is going to be the details about your video. It's going to have the name of it, where you're saving your videos. You're going to have the aspect ratio, resolution, frame rate. So like I said in the Blackmagic Camera app video, there's only 2 frame rates we are filming in. It's either 29 or 23.97 or 24 or 20, sorry, 23.97 or 29.97. Those are the only 2 frame rates. Basically, you're either filming in 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second. There is no in between. You can film in 60. That is not going to give you a cinematic look. There's a reason why we film in those, because most movies are filmed in either 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and the 29.97 like resolution here, just use it. Don't ask questions. I don't know why a lot of people just use that. So anyways, we're going to do modify. We're going to make sure everything is right. So we're going to name this day 1. Right? That's usually what I do. Save to, we can have it there. Import media, in original location, aspect ratio. We're going to do, since we're doing vertical videos, I'm going to do 9:16. If you're doing horizontal, you can do 16:9, but I'm going to do 9:16. Resolution, custom. I film in 4K, right? If you can't film in 4K, keep a 1080p timeline. But I film in 4K, so 4K resolution is pretty sure that's 4K resolution. Let me double check that. What is 4K resolution? Oh, it was close. 3840 by. Oh, I just have to flip it. There we go. Frame rate, again, 29.97 if you're filming at 30 frames per second, or 24 frames per second if you're filming in 24. I film in 30 frames per second, so I'm doing 29.97. Color space, you always want it to be in Rec 709. Performance, I use proxies, and then resolution. So this is what the resolution is going to be shown on your screen, therefore making, when you're editing, less laggy. So I just keep it at 720p. Should do really, really well. And I thought I put, aspect ratios 9:16. Bro, what the fuck? Oh, that's 2160 3840. Alright, bro. The fuck is happening? Anyways, why is it not giving me a vertical formant? Am I tweaking? Surely I'm tweaking. Alright. Teach. Fine. Anyways, there we go. So let's import some. Actually, I don't even know if I have any media. Let's see. Desktop, clip export. Then we do not have anything. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to export some clips. So let's use some iPhone shot. Walking in the gym, we have this and this, and we have this. And then let's also do some of my own. So let's do this one because we need to color grade that. And that. Lastly, let's do this. Shit, we don't need these. All right. Export these. What I'm doing is I'm just exporting these from my computer onto from my photos into my computer tab. basically, let's import our audio first. Again, this is our timeline. This is our play. This is where our video is going to be shown. This is about our video, and then this is all of our effects. So our timeline. So let's import a set. No, my God, I don't even know if we can. I need to know this shot. Is it this? That is not it, bro. Memories by lead. Oop. Lead. Wait. Huh? Bro, this is literally. Are we fucking kidding me? All right, bro. All right, let's just import sound. Holy shit. My computer can handle it. Holy shit. Bro, come on. Is it? Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. This is very chopped. Oh my God, bro. Bro, what the fuck? All right, let me just do this myself. So we have clips. So you can honestly just drag and drop your clips onto here. We'll go to media. So I'll just drag and drop all this onto here. Telling me that file is not accessible. At rate. Fuck you mean, bro? Dude, these are literally regular clips. What is waiting to update? All right, well, dude, this is literally so fucking annoying. This is why I hate CapCut. Why I don't like it. What songs should we use? Yeah, we use this one. All right, so should be good. I don't know why these files do not work. But that is most unfortunate. But that's besides the point. I will get this fixed ASAP. Dude, what the fuck? Why is it doing it? All right, so we have our clip, we have our sound. So, after you import your sound, I want you to drag it onto your timeline first. Why? Because we first start editing with a sound. The sound allows us to sort of mark out our where we want to cut, and that gives us sort of a basis of how we want this video to end or to start. So we have our video, our sound here. So this is our timeline right here. This is our soundtrack. Above here, this is our video track. Think of the timeline as layers. So whatever's on top will override whatever's on bottom. From here, let's see. We have our sound here. This is also our playhead. Okay. From here, and then we also have effects here. So this is going to be the effects that affect when we click this, you can change the different things here. So these are going to be effects that you can change for the specific part of the timeline that we click, right? So let us cut the in and out where we want it to end, begin and start. So let's just listen. So I want to start here. And okay, so let's go over the tools here. So this is where you can change what you're doing. Split, that's basically where you cut video left or right. Select or left forward or right forward. Do that. Right here, this is our split tool. Delete left, delete right. This is our delete. This will be our AR add marker. So this is AI generated. It's not perfect. We're not using that. So we're going to use the other marker, which is this. And then we have transcript. So this is going to transcribe your video if there's any talking or any voices in there. Not using that because this is the sound with that, but I'll show you guys that maybe later. Over here, this is where I can put a voiceover. Over here, this is where you can turn off the track magic. Magnet, you don't want to do that. You do not want to turn off auto snapping, and you don't want to turn off linkage. So you want to keep all these on. And then this will be our zoom to fit timeline. So you can reignite this, click this, or press Command Z if you want to sort of resize this so that it fits the whole of this video, right? So we have our sound. Let us use the markers here. So what are markers? Markers just mark out where we want to add a clip, right? Now we don't want to mark out the actual sound. So we're going to Command Z, or you can press this to undo, but you want to mark out by not clicking this at all. You want to mark out above, right here, right? And this is where we're going to be making cuts for our video. So every marker that we had, that's where a new clip is going to happen. You should do this every single time after you put the audio in, so you know exactly where you should cut. Now, a good rule of thumb, every 2 to 3 seconds, you should cut the video at a key beat. Now, that's what I try to do. Sometimes it varies. Use your own discretion. But I will say every 2 to 3 seconds, you should be thinking, okay, am I doing something every 2 to 3 seconds? Am I keeping my audience engaged? If not, cut the clip. If you have a 5-second clip at the beginning, chances are people are just going to scroll up. That's just the reality of it. People's attention spans really low these days. So please, 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 2 to 3 seconds, something has to be happening. Whether that's a video effect, whether that's cutting the clip, whether that, I don't even know, whether there's like some sort of sound, okay? There has to be something happening every 2 to 3 seconds. That is how you have to do it for short form videos. There is no in between. If you have a 10-second long clip at the beginning, people are going to scroll up. You are not any different. Everybody does this, okay? You cannot just try to have a 20-second intro or a 10-second intro or sometimes even a 5-second intro. It will not work. People are going to scroll up on your videos and you're going to wonder why you're not making progress, where you're stuck in 200 view jail, okay? So please, 2 to 3 seconds, that is a good rule of thumb, okay? And you're ideally cutting at every key beat. That is like 2 to 3 seconds in between. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's slightly more, but that is a good medium, right? So we're going to do this. So we're going to find key beat. Let me delete this marker. Right here, I think. Yep, right here. Now, a good sort of tool to use, a good sort of thing is listen. Use headphones and listen where the sound changes at those beats. You can kind of hear kind of a click, or it's like a very, very subtle. Sometimes you have to crank the sound of your headphones up, but that is the easiest way that I found to do it, is to just listen where beat happens, where it starts. Mark it out. You're going to do perfectly fine. Okay. If you heard that, you can hear that right here. That's where the new beat starts. Again, you can hear it right there. Again, you can hear it kind of like a click, or like a def, or a very deep tone. Okay, we're going to cut this part out because that's not a good place to end the video on. So, good rule of thumb as well for short form videos, I like to keep it 20 to 30 seconds. Sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's slightly longer, but you want to go based off the sound. You want to cut the sound at a good place, that kind of makes sense to stop the video, to end the video there, right? You don't want it to just cut in the middle of a beat drop or in the middle of where something happens. But a good rule of thumb, 20 to 30 seconds per video, right? So that gives you about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 to 15 clips per video. That's very good, right? If you have, that is more than enough to tell a story. That is more than enough to have a very good video. Now we'll get into storytelling a little bit later, but or maybe I'll do before this. I think I'll probably go over storytelling before this. But anyways, so 20 to 30 seconds, and then well, you're cutting every 2 to 3 seconds ideally. So that's how you do it. Now we marked it all out. So how many clips do we need here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many clips do I have here? And they're not accessible. So I'm going to go ahead and try to figure this out. But basically, you're just going to drag and drop your clips onto the timeline. Before we do that, though, I want to fade this sound out. So there's two ways to fade it out. You can go up here and you can fade out at the beginning here, or you can go down here and click this little circle and just fade it out. Very simple, easy to use, but make sure you select your audio track. Do this. Volume, you can make this louder or quieter, but it sounds good at 0. So I'm going to keep it like that. Again, so to import a clip, all you're going to do is, well, before we do that, you can mark your ins and outs of the clip. How do you do that? With this sort of trim tool. Now, it will show you on the playhead here where it's going to be trimmed. So, it's a good place to trim right here. And the out, I don't really do the out as much because we're just going to cut it. But yeah, I'm going to just put it on the timeline right about, you know, we're going to have to change this clip later. Once I hit these other clips working, I can even get them working, please. It looks like they're working. Yep. Got this clip. Come on. Here we go. No. All right. Let's remove this clip. Dude, why does it mean file is not accessible? That is so bullshit. So we're walking in, beginning of our clip. Perfect. All right, so that's the beginning of our clip. Oh, I just realized I have a night shift on. Everything looks weird. I'm sorry, guys. I had night shift on. Please forgive me. All right. Wow, this is so chopped. Anyways, so we need 10 clips. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, not enough. That's fine. I'll fix it later in the next video. But anyways, you just drag and drop your videos onto the timeline. Very simple like that. You can mark the ins and outs by simply clicking on here and moving the playhead like this, right? Do that, import all your clip, and then you can either trim it like this, or you can press B at this and it will, and then click it and then delete the part. So very simple. I'm gonna just show you guys the rest of this shit. Make it very simple for you guys. I don't want that. I want the select one. It's really weird. Why is it saying my stuff is not accessible? Okay, we have that. Oops. Boom. All right, we are almost done. So at least for me, because I use a camera, my videos aren't always filmed. They don't export vertically. I have to manually, what do you call it? Rotate it. But I'll show you guys how to do that in the next video. But yeah, that's how you basically do that. That is markers. That is your importing of videos, of sounds, as well as using your timeline. This was a lot longer than it should have been, but this is your sort of end product. I will add a couple more videos in here later for the next video, but this is it. Let's see it. One more thing you can actually see here. So you have some tools. So you can actually lock this track so you can't do anything to it. You can turn off so you can't visually see it, or you can turn off the sound, which is what I'm going to do here, which is turn off the sound. And then, yeah, there's 3 things. You can change the track height to short. That's what I like to do. So it allows me to have a lot more room. But if you don't want it, keep it to default. And then your auto waveform, I don't really use this, but yeah, you can do it like that. But I'm going to keep it at 30% so I can see it. But yeah, again, let's watch it. I didn't finish. I got to add 2 more clips, but yeah, let's just watch it. Okay, fine. I got to add 3 more. Totally okay. So that's it. We'll add 3 more clips and then we'll get on to the transform tab. So that will be all of this here, all of these basic adjustments you can make. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.